I spent 6 months testing two of the most talked about soil boosters on the planet, biochar and cardboard mulch. At first, I thought it would be simple, just throw some charcoal in the dirt, cover it with cardboard, and watch the magic happen. But what I discovered shocked me. These two simple materials can transform your soil, or ruin it, depending on how you use them. Today, I'll walk you through what really happens when you combine biochar and cardboard in your garden, what I learned the hard way, and how you can use them to rebuild living, fertile soil from the ground up. When I began, my goal was clear. I wanted to see if I could improve my tired garden beds without using store-bought fertilizer. I'd read stories of gardeners reviving dead soil using just carbon-based materials. Biochar, made from burning organic matter in low oxygen, was praised for holding nutrients and improving drainage. Cardboard was said to suppress weeds and feed microbes as it broke down. But what happens when you use both together? Would they team up to create a thriving underground ecosystem, or choke it? In early spring, I picked two identical plots. One I left untouched as a control. On the second, I added a half-inch layer of biochar and covered it with moist cardboard sheets. I made sure the cardboard was unprinted and glue-free. Then I watered deeply and left it alone for 2 weeks to let microbes begin colonizing the biochar. For the first month, it looked like a total failure. The plants above the biochar and cardboard bed were smaller, slower, and slightly yellow. I later learned that biochar is like an empty sponge. It can absorb nutrients from the soil before releasing them. The cardboard, too, hadn't broken down enough to feed microbes. But beneath the surface, something was starting to change. By the second month, everything shifted. Under the cardboard, white fungal threads were weaving through the biochar, proof of thriving soil life. Earthworms had moved in, leaving casts everywhere. The fungi colonized the biochar pores, turning it into a living nutrient bank. Once the biochar was charged, the plants above began to take off. By the third month, growth exploded. The plants in the treated bed were deeper green, and the soil held moisture twice as long. Even in dry spells, I didn't need to water as often. Biochar created space for microbes, air, and water, while cardboard kept the surface cool and shaded. Together, they built a living soil sponge that stored both water and life. Around month 4, I made a rookie mistake. Thinking I could speed things up, I added another layer of cardboard and sprinkled more raw biochar on top. Within 2 weeks, the plants looked stressed. The cardboard blocked air and water, and the uncharged biochar started stealing nutrients again. That's when I learned, biochar must always be pre-charged before use. To fix it, I removed the extra cardboard and soaked the top biochar layer with compost tea. Within a week, the plants bounced back. The biochar darkened as it absorbed nutrients, and soil life surged again. Biochar isn't fertilizer, it's a long-term habitat. Once filled with microbes, it turns into a nutrient recycling engine that can last for decades. By 6 months, the transformation was undeniable. The soil had turned from pale dust into dark, crumbly humus. Water soaked in easily, roots were thick and white, and weeds were few. The cardboard had done its job, and I hadn't used a single bag of fertilizer. The soil had rebuilt itself naturally. Here's the truth. Biochar and cardboard are incredibly powerful, when used wisely. Biochar gives structure. Cardboard gives food. Together, they create a living, self-repairing soil system that improves with time. It's the closest thing I've seen to permanent fertility. The science is simple. Biochar's porous structure holds nutrients like a sponge. Cardboard feeds microbes that release humic acids, binding minerals in the biochar. Over months, this builds what gardeners call living soil memory, a stable, fertile base that gets better every season. It's nature's own way of rebuilding after a forest fire. If I start again, I'll always soak biochar in compost tea for a week before using it. 1 layer of damp cardboard is enough, no need to stack it. I'll mix a little compost or worm castings above the cardboard to wake the microbes faster. Small adjustments, huge results. The biggest shock wasn't how well it worked. It was realizing how disconnected we are from real soil building. Most of us feed plants instead of feeding the soil, but when you feed the soil, everything else thrives. Nature already knows how to heal itself. We just need to stop interfering and start partnering with it. 6 months with biochar and cardboard changed how I see soil forever. If you're serious about building living soil that lasts, try it, but take it slow, observe, and let nature lead. You don't need chemicals, just patience and organic matter. If you found this experiment useful, subscribe to Soil Story, share this video with a fellow gardener, and help rebuild the ground beneath our feet, one bed at a time.